What's up YouTube? TKC here, the Kaijudo channel, and I'm going to bring you a very awesome video right now because I get to announce some awesome news regarding Kaijudo. So, there's a site, I think it's called ICV2, correct me if I'm wrong, but they posted an interview that they did with Kaijudo's brand manager, Kierin, and he answered a lot of awesome questions that were not quite answered the same as on the Reddit AMA. And there's some very awesome things in this article. So I'm going to go ahead and point out the main points of the article, but if you want to read the whole thing for yourselves, I'm going to leave a link in the description. So, first of all, the whole article is basically based on Kaijudo sanctioning. Like, what is the future of Kaijudo? What are they going to be doing sanctioning-wise? And so, if you haven't heard, they actually have opened up sanctioning for stores to hold Kaijudo events, but it doesn't go to any sort of ranking or point system or anything. All it really does is you kind of just run tournaments and they end up getting stored into the Wizards database or something, and then like maybe they get some sort of points or credit, like the store themselves actually gets some points or something for actually doing that. And also there's this whole like, not like a sweepstakes kind of thing, but like kind of incentive for stores to run tournaments, because if they ever run a Kaijudo tournament with at least 8 players in it, then they get this awesome prize package of a bunch of Wizards of the Coast products like Dungeons and Dragons and Magic, and even a box of Kaijudo, I believe, too. So it'll give all these stores incentive to do that, and I think they're only giving out to the first 1,000 stores, and so a lot of stores could get in this and do that, except for Quebec stores apparently, because on the very bottom of the whole thing it says void in Quebec, you know, because Quebec has some stupid laws which forbid any sort of sweepstakes or contests or giveaways unless they sign all these papers and blah blah blah, and you know, companies don't want to take the risk of missing one of the steps required and then they end up paying money to Quebec and stuff. It's just a lot of dumb laws and stuff, and I really hate that, but what can you do? So, I mean, stores can actually run tournaments now if they really want to. It just doesn't really go towards any ranking system for the players. What they do plan on doing, though, for a ranking system or whatever, they're going to be doing something similar to Magic's Planeswalker points, and I'm not really familiar with how those points work, but basically it's not ELO based. Like, that's what the original ranking was for, like the DCI and all that, where every match you win would give you a bit of a boost, depending on who you're going against, of course. So if you're matched against someone who is a lower ELO than you wouldn't get as much points as if you beat someone with a higher ELO than you, and it just kind of fluctuated like that, and I guess it didn't really work out too well. So they changed it to this kind of point accumulation system that rewards people who goes to a lot of tournaments, you know, regardless if you do well or not. But of course, if you do well, you'll get more points if you do worse, you know. And so they said that they don't have that for Kaijudo just yet, but they're looking into it, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to offer that soon. So in the future, we're probably going to be having that at some point, probably in March, and I'll get to that later. Then they talked about Kaijudo League, and so Kaijudo League for now is just 4 weeks, you know, after the set's released, just 4-week program, and then give some awesome promos and stuff. But they actually said that starting next year, they would rather switch it from just a 4-week program to a 52-week program. So basically, there's going to be Kaijudo League weekly, no matter what, instead of like right after the set releases. So we'll have Kaijudo League every week, similar to, I believe, Pokemon does the same thing. They have a Pokemon League kind of thing as well, and it's more for, it's kind of like a fun thing. It's not tournaments per se, or locals tournaments or whatever, because the stores kind of have to run them themselves, not, you know, League is just a fun thing to do for people to just meet up and play, and maybe win booster packs or prizes or whatever it's going to be. I have no idea. So the next main point of the article talks about the participation of Kaijudo on the consumer level, and they actually reported that some stores have been holding League events with 30+ kids at them. So, you know, we're kind of wrong in saying that, you know, the older folk are the ones who play Kaijudo more, because there are some stores out there that actually have like 30 or more kids playing the game, which is absolutely incredible, and I'm very happy to hear that, you know, Kaijudo is able to branch out to their target audience mainly, you know, but at the same time it'll support us as well, us experienced older players. So here's the exact quote here regarding the older Kaijudo players. We know there's a lot of older fans, and we welcome them, and they will never be turned away, and there will be plenty of activities for them. But we think for the health of the industry, it's very important to bring in kids into the hobby channel. And I cannot disagree with that at all. It's perfectly acceptable. It makes perfect sense. They're branching out to kids, and then if the kids get all hyped up about the game, it might even bring other people, older people, into the game. And so they have activities for all ages, which is exactly the right thing to do. So at the moment right now, they're just kind of growing the game, giving the cards to more people, kids more importantly, but, getting the cards into more people's hands, and eventually, during the next year, they'll be able to, comfortably bring out organized play, and, a lot of people will have the cards by that point, so a lot of people will participate because of that. So now, at the very end of the article, the interviewer asks, is there a plan for types of organized play beyond League? And this is his exact answer. Yes, actually next year we're going to be starting our celebration release events. We haven't announced when it's going to happen, but we're hoping to have it in the first couple of sets. So that's coming down the pike. We feel that will be a much larger event than just League, where people can go get some cool stuff and celebrate the new set that's coming out. Additionally, we will have some larger events at conventions, and that will get a lot more support outside the hobby community. So there you have it. We're actually going to be having some organized play events, and we're going to start little because that's the way it works. You got to start small and get the tournaments at a very small level, and then just build up upon that. So like a lot of other people have been saying, they're comparing this to Duel Masters Tournament of the Five Civilizations, where every time a set comes out, they hold this kind of like mini local tournament and give out some awesome prizes to people who participate. And it's kind of reminiscent of a pre-release, except I'm not quite sure if they gave out packs before the release date or something like that. I'm thinking no. I'm thinking it was like exactly on the week of the release date of the set, and then they just hold a tournament, and the prizes are lots of booster packs of that new set, and who knows, just things like that. I can't really tell you because I've never participated in one of these, so you should ask the DM vets, like the people at Earth Power, Carl Reddish, Drizzer. You could ask those people because I honestly have no idea. But yeah, that seems pretty cool, and like maybe there'll even be pre-releases down the line. Getting a little bit ahead of myself, but they could be doing that as well, which is pretty awesome. And so speaking of new sets coming out next year, they actually announced when their next set's going to be out, and that's going to be in March. So two things that are very interesting about this. First of all, that's actually like 4 months away, which is finally a huge change from their constant like 2-month updates, bringing up new sets, new Walmart stuff, like a bunch of new stuff so close within each other. So now that they finally got a big card pool out there after Evo Fury comes out, they can finally take a break and let people enjoy the evolutions and all the other cards that have already been out. And so by the time March comes around, they'll be really wanting some more cards, and then they could finally go back to a normal schedule of like 3-4 month periods between each set. And number 2, PAX East is going to be a convention held in Boston, and that's also in March. It's in late March, however, but it is in March. So considering the Kaijudo set is going to be coming out in March, maybe even late March, maybe like the last week of March, then chances are PAX East, will have Wizards of the Coast there and Kaijudo, and they're going to be doing some crazy events like they did back in PAX Prime in Washington, where Channel Kaijudo Master and his team were there to do a lot of cool events and open packs before they're even out. So PAX East is actually not too far away from me. It's on the East Coast, finally a convention on the East Coast that is relatively close to me, and I have the money to get there. So I might actually be able to go there alongside Drizzer. I know Drizzer's going there, absolutely. He already ordered his stuff. He has his hotel room and everything. So we might be able to head down there. And hey, the guys at Earth Power, you guys are kind of on the East Coast. I mean, it's not too far away from you guys either. So how about you guys come over to PAX East, and we'll have some awesome Kaijudo stuff going on in PAX East. I don't know, just a suggestion, but it would make the hotel room cheaper for Drizzer and myself if I go. We'll be like, depends how many people go, but yeah, I don't know. Just throwing out some ideas. I don't know if I'm going yet myself, but if down the line they say that Kaijudo's next set is going to be late March, then I kind of have to go, right? It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so yeah. So, this is TKC signing off this awesome news. I'm going to be posting a deck profile probably really soon, a very awesome deck profile that uses Stylish Strategist. I used it in a duel already against E-Man, but I'm going to show you my, I guess, finalized deck build of it, but it's been changing constantly. I've been trying a bunch of different cards just to see how it works, but I'm just going to be showing you the last version I tested, and from there I could get some awesome feedback from you guys, and, you know, probably make a better deck for when Evo Fury comes out, because a lot of the cards in there could help my deck out. Woo! Alright, TKC, signing off. See you later, guys.